14 Americans confirmed dead, 20 or more missing. An unknown number may be held hostage by Hamas as violence in Israel continues. Warnings about mortar and rocket fire taking place without warning. This after the assault on Israel that continues now into day 5. And there are Americans still there trying to get out, including some, as you see here, from right here in East Tennessee. The international airport there is open, but several major airlines have announced they have suspended flights. And that leads us to some important things to remember when you travel to another country. 6 on Your Side legal analyst Greg Isaacs joins us. It's always good to see you.
Lori, it's good to be here.
Let's talk about some things we need to know when we decide to travel to a foreign country before we ever leave home. What do we need to do?
Well, you don't want to anticipate the worst, but there's a lot of things that you need to do, and there's a lot of legal resources available that you may or may not be aware of. The first thing when you're traveling overseas or out of the country is use the State Department. They have a portal called the Smart Travel Enrollment Program. And what does that do? If you enroll and list your country of destination and your address, you receive real-time alerts if there's a natural disaster, civil unrest, or other travel impediments. Also, it enables the State Department to contact you during your trip if there's emergencies or something that arises, and your family can access the portal, and the embassy can find you if there's an emergency back home.
And that's really good to know, because a lot of people think, oh, State Department, that's only in times of crisis, like right now, getting in touch with them after the fact, but they need to know you're going before you ever leave.
And the division of the Bureau of Consular Affairs coordinates with the embassy that you're going to be at. So a very powerful resource that most people don't know exists. The other thing you need to do is come up with a personal security plan and a communications plan.
Now, what all does this entail?
Wow, it really hit home when I saw this, the tragedies, atrocities with Americans, and no one could find them or know they were there. I had a son that was just in Europe, and I knew the countries generally where he was going to stay, but I could not have contacted him if I would have needed to.
Wow.
So what you need to do is have a balance between the law is designed to protect security for your bank accounts, your medical records, all of that. But conversely, if you're locked down because of COVID, a natural disaster, flights are not leaving Israel. The earliest reports have said from Congressman Burchett's office, October 31st.
Weeks away.
You have to have a plan so someone can access your accounts, your medical records, etc.
So we're talking providing login information?
Right. Well, first of all, you need to have a power of attorney.
Okay.
And that can be a general, durable power of attorney to give someone the authority to conduct your affairs, a medical power of attorney, and then designate someone to have your logins, your passwords. Wow. Because as much as the law is designed to protect, it's not going to eliminate those protections if you're stuck overseas.
All right, good things to remember. We hope everybody over there will be safe.
Prayers with everybody there from Knoxville and all throughout the United States. But next time you travel, take steps so if you are locked down, you can use resources to make sure you and your family are safe.
Important information. Greg, thank you.